Greetings once again, heroes and villains. Duuz-Diz-Din back again with My Hero Academia, where previously, during the fight between Deku and Tomura Shigaraki, Shigaraki was able to touch Deku for a moment. I'd say call the police, but they're a little busy. But Tomura was actually able to invade One for All, and on top of that, he was able to do what All for One never could, steal a piece. Namely, Hikage, and the ability of Danger Sense. With this new ability, Tomura can predict all of Deku's attacks. And Deku, he's now down one of his greatest resources. As Tomura goes on a vicious offensive, he actually even verbally attacks Deku, criticizing Deku's decision to treat Tomura as if he were a person. As their battle rages, they end up all the way at Mount Fuji, where Tomura intends to set off the dormant volcano, causing a massive chain reaction that will destroy the entirety of Japan. And yet despite this malice, despite this hatred, despite this damnation, Deku is still determined to treat Tomura as a human being. What will that mean in the end? And can Deku continue to uphold his sense of justice in the face of what seems to be overwhelming evil? Join me as I find out, won't you? Deku goes in for a punch, and we see the inner workings of his body, where it seems as though he's reinforcing his bones and muscles with Black Whip. Gee, strengthening himself on an inner level. Deku, as he flies in, thinks to himself, inside my body, focusing on defense left me immobilized. So in the meantime, I use the 5th Black Whip to flex and extend my muscles manually, pushing them to the limit to build up power for the 3rd Fajin. You can even see the mid-gauntlet breaking apart as Deku's about ready to strike at Tomura, who's approaching with a wave of decay in his wake. And as Deku thinks of all the moments, that's what he's doing, that he's used his ability during his first days at UA, where he used his finger to shoot a ball into the air. I think the next one was when he was fighting against the initial villains who attacked UA the first time around with Shigaraki when they were in the water. And then when he used the Air Force gauntlets against Gentle, Deku shoots out his fists, but then extends his fingers as he thinks, allowing me to unleash blasts of air. And he unleashes it as Tomura braces. Deku shoots out a Delaware Smash. You can even see Tomura bracing because of the Danger Sense. It's My Hero Academia number 412. History's Maddest hero. What a title. And as Tomura is blasted away by the force, he laughs. Gotta say, that's peak performance, Midoriya. Tomura then thinks to himself, he predicted the path and range of my decay, and used that wind blast to gouge out the land and blow it away. By removing a medium for my power to travel through, he can delay the events of my destructive force. Still, it's only a stopgap measure. Tomura then uses his ability to stop his backward momentum and then propel him forward. As he thinks, I'll apply my personal touch as many times as it takes. But suddenly Tomura's Danger Sense goes off, and as he nears the plume that was kicked up by Deku's attack, he thinks, the dust cloud isn't dispersing. Oh, it's the smoke screen. As we see tendrils from Black Whip shooting out all around Tomura. Tomura calls out, sure, I get it. Oh, it was a misdirect. As Deku comes in, Black Whip wrapped around his arm, and he manages to sever off Tomura's arm with a powerful strike. As Deku continues to come in with strikes, he thinks to himself, I applied the 2nd gear shift in low gear to the 6th smoke screen, holding the cloud in place, causing the 4th Danger Sense to set off a constant alarm in his head, then unleashing the 5th Black Whip while Shigaraki's vision was obscured. Wow, it's the fact that he actually knows about the ability, he's using that to his advantage. Deku then begins to pump his legs in midair, more than likely trying to use Fajin, as he thinks, and now in the meantime, after all, I know the risks of relying too heavily on Danger Sense, as he thinks back to his battle against Lady Nagant. But N then manifests calling out going to such lengths to store up power, but ninth, Shigaraki's search quirk will lead him right to you. And Shigaraki does just that, as Shigaraki is able to suss out Deku's location through the smokescreen and sends out a barrage of rivet stab, one of which manages to strike at Deku as he cries out. Tomura then questions, I see all, remember? Your location and weaknesses. Deku then thinks back to Ragdoll saying, I know everything about anyone I lay eyes on up to 100 people at a time. Man, who would have thought that that ability would be so problematic so many times over? And as Deku recoils from the pain, Shigaraki questions, can't catch your breath, huh? Banjo then calls out, Gear Shift's time is up, and here comes the recoil. Shigaraki then regrows his arm, questioning, and those charged up attacks, not meant for willy-nilly rapid fire either. As he look at Deku's strained arm, he says, I could tell you're reinforcing your tendons and muscles from the inside. It's clear enough, since those black coils show right through your skin. That's kinda cool. And if you smack me head on with one of those moves, I might not manage to put myself back together. But life's tough when you've got so much you want to protect. Right, Midoriya? But Deku, despite the pain, calls out, like I told you, I'm not giving up on that crying boy. Deku then goes in with a kick, but Tomura manages to avoid it, and from the smoke he calls out, people interpret the world around them through such narrow, limited windows. We see the crowd watching the fight, but because of the smoke screen, their view is obscured. As they hold themselves in anticipation, the people chatter, what's going on now? Can't see a thing. They're too far from the camera. But Tomura continues on saying, when the world throws the inexplicable at them, they concoct rationales to put themselves at ease. Now you're cramming me into your narrow world view, like a square peg in a round hole. You see it all, yeah? In the same way I can see your ghost buddies. One for all gives you a peek inside me. That's how you kept track of me, even in the smoke. Well, take a closer look. And as Deku looks within the depths of Tomura's soul, he sees nothing but destruction, ate away by the decay, as Shigaraki tells him, I overcame and buried that crying little kid a while back. It's my worldview that's taken over. The boy's gone. Only I'm left. Me, Tomura Shigaraki. And I'm doing just peachy. He reaches out ready to attack again. But then, Nana manifests, and as she gazes at Tomura's madness and thinks back to Deku's words saying, I want to save that little boy, Nana tells Deku, give it up. There are some people out there who can't be saved, Izuku. In the face of the ideals you carry as a hero, represents an insurmountable challenge, an impenetrable wall you don't need to overcome. She then calls out in desperation, your only option is to annihilate him in a single blow. Leave nothing behind. Accept that fact. Grin and bear it, Izuku. Charge up for a strike even mightier than before. But Deku, he tells her no, much to her shock. And Deku simply tells her, as she wells up with tears, I have to ask why he can't let go of that sad, lonely past of his. All he did was put a lid on it. He then remembers Tomura's words, you ignored those you couldn't protect and swept all that pain under the rug. And Deku, despite the obvious strain racing through his body, powers up, calling out, so until that lid shatters to pieces, I won't stop smashing away at it. Kudo then speaks up, saying, this is why I was so opposed. The desire to save one's archenemy is delusional madness, a madness that disrupts our destined path. He tells the others, it's arrogant thinking born of a naive, peace-addled existence. But having observed from within, I know the truth, that this boy clings to one driving notion, that anyone, whether the most vile among us, or even the quirkless, that inside each one of us beats an innately human heart. And we see the spite Bakugo back in the day being so abstinent, being so harsh. Deku still wanted to believe that there was good. Kudo says, I too want to believe. But suddenly, the hand of the vestige of All Might points within the darkness of Tomura. It shocks Kudo. He looks to the vestige of All Might, and then he looks within Tomura, and he sees something. And Kudo says, call me a fan of saccharine sentiment, but now you have to do exactly as I say. I'm betting everything on you, Ninth. The time has come to part ways with One for All. Okay, I think I get it. Huh. You know, is that Star and Stripes' hand? Now that I actually think about it. Because the hand looks smaller than All Might's usual one. Huh. But it's something I've been thinking about for a while though. During the course of this fight, especially the moment Danger Sense was stolen, it kind of gave me the realization that Deku probably will go back to being quirkless at the end of it. And it would make the most sense. Deku proves himself with all that power and loses it all at the same time. That would solidify him as the greatest hero because he gave it all in the final fight. But what is being pointed out to Kudo in the depths of Tomura? What does he see? I'm so curious. He sees something that turned even his mind, which isn't the hardest thing to sway, given the situation with Yoichi. Yeah, I had to look it up. That's definitely Star and Stripe's hand. Man, I continue to be sad that Star and Stripe is gone, but her loss has done the most good. And now part of me just is so interested in what Deku and her relationship would have been like, but it's something that even she acknowledges. Beyond the grave, the version of her that exists within Tomura. Man, I'm so curious. Because will it be something that sways others? The readers themselves? Will they understand? Or will they dismiss it? People can be harsh, but I'm very interested. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What is this plan that will lead to the end of One for All? I mean, that would truly make it live up to the name. He gave this one power for all of humanity. But in the end, what will it mean for Deku to save Tomura? What is that shining bit of innocence that has swayed even Kudo? Man, I want to know. Right? Again, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the ride. Thanks so much for watching. And until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I hope to see you later. Till then, bye-bye.